Okay, so I had some time to think about what exactly I wanted to talk about with you all today. There was a thought, we could go through my, what are those things called? I can't think of the word right now, but go through something that I had in my bedroom and I was like, not so much. Or we could go down here and look at how anal I am about the way that I organize my movie collection. I was like, that's kind of also, so that's a no. Then I got into this internal debate with myself about how this morning when I had to unpost a video and then repost a video because I had a song on there, but then I'm like, but I have songs on other ones too, but there was no problem, but then there's a problem, so that's too much work. Then I was like, and then I think things don't necessarily work out the best when I'm talking because I'm always like, I promise I'm not going to ramble, and then inevitably I ramble because I feel like I don't not ramble. But I have okay, well, I'm not going to see exactly that. I was about to start again, so I'm not going to do that. But then I was like, oh, but I have a ton more footage of stuff that other people said that I had planned on using in a video anyway, so why not go ahead and put that stuff out into live. So today, I guess you'll go ahead and get another interview from an advisor of mine for a lot. Like, she was part supervisor when I was in RA, and then she was also advisor when I was on SGA. And her name is Shannon Delaney, and she's pretty much amazing and awesome and extremely demonstrative. Is that the adjective I want to use? She's very animated, so she makes life a lot more exciting than I do. So I'm going to pause and then reboot. There's going to be a super cool transition right here, bam, and then you're going to see Shannon talking about how amazingly gentastic the person, well, how I, yeah, bye, okay.
Okay, so I knew that Ebony Nelson was a J-Lo fanatic, obsessed, whatever you want to call it, but actually pretty much when I first met her. I mean, I knew Ebony as a freshman, but it was her sophomore year that really put it over the edge. She was a resident assistant. The girl had a bulletin board next to her room on her floor. It was pin the clothes on J-Lo. Like, there was a nice, like, big J-Lo on the board, and, like, all the little clothes are on there, and people would come by, and they'd pin the little clothes on J-Lo. She would have countdowns to when J-Lo movies were coming out, or when new CDs were coming out. It was crazy. Then, as a resident assistant, she decided that she was going to do, like, every single program had something to do with J-Lo. Whether it was, let's watch a J-Lo movie, or let's do something else, and somehow she always related it back to J-Lo. I don't know how she did it. It was kind of crazy. It was nuts. And whenever there was a new movie coming out or whatever, she's like, okay, we're all going to go, and y'all can come with me, but I'm going. And she would go like 6 or 7 times. It was crazy. In like 2 days. Not in the course of the time the movie was in the theater, in like opening weekends. And then, when she was in student government, she used to do this thing where she would stand in the back of the room at the end of the meeting and pass out these little reports. They were like 1 sheet, sometimes they were 2 sheets. And it was the J-Lo update. And she would give us all of the updated information on J-Lo, like random facts that we didn't already know. Here's the jewelry line that she just came out with. Let's talk about her new fragrance. Here are all the movies that are up and coming. Here are all of her new songs. These made the top 40, like whatever. J-Lo. It was all J-Lo related. There were people who eventually just started requesting things from Ebony. They requested, the jewelry report was actually requested of her, so she gave us that 1 week. Then when she left seminary, she still sent me the J-Lo report upon my request. She's really convincing on getting us to go watch movies too, or at least me. She convinced me to go see Monster Law, and she convinced me to see Shall We Dance, and she convinced me, although it took a long time for her to convince me, to see Geely, which I really didn't want to see, but I saw it, I watched it once all the way through, and yeah, I never would have done that. So, yeah, she's a little bit obsessed. She's a bit of a fanatic, like the true definition of the word fanatic. Yeah. Ebony Nelson